Rising gas prices got you in fear mode? Do you want to break out of this cycle? Then join me in this video where I share a powerful secret to blasting through fear to the other side where fear is no longer in the driver's seat. As you already know, gas prices keep escalating. And so I'm going to tell you a story about what just recently happened to me. Actually, about a week or so ago. The other day, I was driving to Walmart. And as I was driving, I happened to notice the price of gas jumped 30 cents overnight. I couldn't believe it. I noticed right away the immediate sensation in my gut and chest area as I saw the new price. And then also simultaneously noticed how my mind immediately went into spinning all these stories about how the gas prices are just going to keep rising and where it stops. No one will know. So I want to share my story. Maybe you can relate. And then in sharing this story, I'm hoping that you too can have a breakthrough in regards to fear. So the first part of the breakthrough that happened that I want to share with you is where it all started going right. First and foremost, I caught the connection between what was happening on the outside. I noticed the gas prices were escalating and the immediate feeling of panic in my belly. Maybe you can relate to this. The next thing that was extremely helpful was seeing how the mind was doing what it always tends to do. What the mind loves to do, maybe yours too, is to make up stories about the future with the use of imagination. When I could see how I was creating, yes, through my own imagination, was creating even more fear and panic. With each new story I was telling, I realized that I was scaring myself, my own mind. So again, this was another realization. Perhaps you can see how you might be doing the very same thing. Becoming aware of this tendency of what the mind is doing is one of the very first steps in breaking free from fear, being in the driver's seat. The next breakthrough moment happened when all of a sudden I decided to talk to my mind. I literally started asking the mind questions. Turns out these questions ended up being very powerful as they ended up breaking the spell that fear had me under. And that's why I wanted to make this video and why I want to share this with you today. I said to my mind, okay, I'm seeing all of this fear in regards to the rising gas prices. Not only that, I'm feeling this fear so strongly in my body. I have this desire to fight or flee. I really want to run away. That was the feeling. By the way, side note, this is what fear does. It's an ancient built-in mechanism that evolved to help us stay safe when we were being chased by a predator, like a lion or a bear or something like that. Okay, so I told my mind, there are no bears or lions chasing me right now. I'm in my car and I'm driving. There's no one to fight. And obviously, I can't run away. I am here driving this car. So, right there, some real logic kicked in. Perhaps that is one of the steps out of fear, but also what led me to spontaneously come up with a line of questions that literally popped me out of fear. So, I asked the mind, and this is the powerful question that popped me out of fear. The question was, how's this fear really serving you? I mean, really. How is this fear you are currently feeling helping you? How's it helping your nervous system? How is this fear helping your cardiovascular system? How is your body benefiting from this fear in general? I waited for a response from the mind. Nothing. The mind had no answer. So I kept asking the question, but in slightly different variations. Here's another variation I asked the mind. How is this fear serving your life? Again, that question was, how is this fear serving your life? Really being with a question. How is this fear helping you in general? And this is where self-honesty comes into play, because you're asking the mind, but you're genuinely looking to see what the mind is going to come up with. Here's another question I asked. Is this fear even serving you at all? That was a powerful question for me, especially in that moment. Again, that question was, is this fear even serving you at all? I took the time to really pause and see what the mind had to offer up. Again, nothing. The mind literally had no good reason to have this fear. I also asked other questions, like, can you see how this fear is not serving you? Can you see how this fear has plagued a good portion of your life? But what is it really doing for you? Can you see how this fear is not helping you think clearly? Are you able to see how the fear even blocks or can block intuition from flowing? Or that intuition possibly could give you answers to a problem or situation. So then I circled back around to the original question, which was very powerful. Is this fear really serving me? Is it serving my mental health or my well-being? This is a time to pause, and maybe you want to check in right here and now and ask your mind this powerful question. Ultimately, the mind is a tool. It's not what we are. It's not who we are. It's a tool. But most of us, it seems as if the mind is in the driver's seat when we're the ones who should be in the driver's seat. And definitely, we don't want fear. At least I don't. Maybe that's why you clicked on this video, is you don't want fear in the driver's seat. So that question was, is fear serving my mental health or my well-being? With all these questions, I could see how the fear was impacting my life in a negative way. But here's the clincher. And I think this is where the breakthrough just burst forth. But I could not find one good reason why fear was helping me or serving me. By the way, one of the realizations that dawned on me, which may have already occurred to you, is this. The mind not being able to come up with an answer, like how fear was serving me in a positive, helpful way, well, guess what? That's an answer. That's actually the ultimate answer. And that answer said, this is what it told me, and this is the realization. That answer said that this fear just wasn't necessary or even needed. This fear wasn't helpful or serving me in any way. And like that, the fear vanished. And by the way, it's been actually quite a few days since this breakthrough. And the fear about the gas prices hasn't bothered me, not one bit. I'm hoping that sharing my story will help you have your very own breakthrough to the other side of fear. Let's not let fear control our minds or our lives anymore. Now, this was about gas prices, but my curiosity has me wondering, how far reaching is this tool? How far reaching can these questions in this line of inquiry towards our very own minds be helpful? Some other breakthroughs that happened were just the remembrance of something I heard quite a long time ago. Maybe you've heard this one too. So the emotion that was coming up for me was fear and panic. But what I remembered and recalled, which did help me as well, which is another tool you might want to use if you're in fear, is remembering that fear is just an emotion. And what is emotion? Energy in motion. So then what is fear? It's just energy. Okay, albeit a very intense energy in your system, but nevertheless, it's just energy. Can you feel how that softens it just a little bit? And sometimes that softening of this raw energy we call fear might be just enough to allow you to even ask these questions. I hope you'll take the time to ask these questions to yourself if you're in fear or you know someone who's in fear. Perhaps you want to share this video with anyone who's experiencing this fear, especially around gas prices, because this is what's up for us if you're here in America. And maybe you're somewhere else in the world watching this video and something else is triggering you. So I say, if you can, and maybe it's even more helpful to write it down with pen and paper. Ask these questions, write them down, and just take the time to answer them with self-honesty, reflection, contemplation, and see what occurs for you. See if it helps, even just a little bit. And something I became aware of too is what happens for the person who's right in the middle of a panic attack? What can they do in those situations? Maybe you're at the gas pump and you're gas prices are so high you can't even afford it at this moment. And you're literally in a state of panic. So I want to make a follow-up video, which I will be doing shortly for those who might be in the middle of a panic attack. And stay tuned for that one. Again, my name is Sina Fernandez. You can find me on centeredinbliss.com. Please share this video with a friend who might be going through some fear. I'd also love it if you could subscribe to my channel and click the like button on this video if you found it helpful at all. I will be sharing more insights, breakthroughs, meditations, and positive content on this YouTube channel and also on my website that are designed to uplift and inspire. I hope you have a day filled with grace and many blessings. Thank you for watching.